We were told love conquers all, that if we just speak our truth, hold her hand through the storms, stay soft, attentive, available, she will stay. But the truth, she doesn't stay for comfort, she stays for gravity. And unless you understand the hidden laws that shape desire, you will keep mistaking niceness for strength, softness for safety, and wonder why she leaves without a reason. No, this isn't about bitterness. This is about waking up. It's about peeling away the romantic illusions you were sold and replacing them with something raw, something real, something ancient. Because human attraction isn't built on good intentions. It's built on energy, on polarity, on the electric dance between strength and surrender. And if you misunderstand that, you don't just lose women, you lose yourself. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." But what happens when a man trades that why, his purpose, for approval? He becomes weightless, and nothing repels the feminine like a man who orbits her instead of his own mission. You were raised to believe that vulnerability is the key to connection, that if you just open your soul, she'll see your depth and be moved by it. But the feminine doesn't fall for a man because he's exposed. She falls for the man who can be seen and still remain unshaken. Because mystery isn't created by hiding, it's created by anchoring. Anchoring in your own world, your own values, your own direction. The philosopher Carl Jung spoke of the anima and the animus, the feminine and masculine energies within all of us. He said integration was the key, not suppression, not dominance, but balance. And yet, in our modern world, balance has been misunderstood. You've been told to soften your edge, to share more, feel more, express more, without being taught how to hold yourself in the process. So now we have men who speak their feelings, but crumble when they aren't received the way they hoped. We have men who are present, but not powerful, who are emotional, but not grounded, who are generous, but not respected. And slowly, without understanding why, they are rejected. Not because they're unworthy, but because they gave everything away, including their center. Here's what no one told you. Desire isn't built in harmony. It's built in tension, not conflict, not chaos, but tension. The pull of opposites, the spark between a grounded force and a receptive mystery. Think of a magnet. The more one pole stands in its identity, the more the other is drawn in. But when both collapse, when both become passive, soft, undefined, the magnet dies. This is what Freud called the death of desire, when clarity and polarity are replaced by emotional sameness. She doesn't test you because she's cruel. She tests you because her unconscious mind is searching for a man whose sense of self doesn't bend in the wind of her emotions. A man who can feel, but not be led by feeling. A man who can listen, but not lose direction. A man who can love without needing to be needed. You think she wants peace, but what she wants is presence. Not the kind that texts "good morning" first, but the kind that walks into a room and changes the atmosphere. Not the kind that seeks permission, but the kind that brings vision. Because love, in its highest form, is not about merging into comfort. It's about merging into motion, into something greater than both of you. And if your life has no motion, no mission, no muscle, she cannot follow. Because there is nothing to follow. You think leadership is control? It's not. It's clarity. And clarity, brother, is the most attractive force in the world. This is what the Stoics knew. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." You don't lead by convincing her. You lead by being undeniable. Not because you talk louder, but because your energy doesn't flinch. Your silence doesn't beg. Your attention isn't desperate. This isn't about being cold. It's about being complete. Because women don't fall in love with your need. They fall in love with your frame. Not physical, but psychological. The structure of your being. The weight of your inner world. The sovereignty of your choices. Have you ever noticed? You gave her everything. You were attentive, romantic, loyal. You made her feel like the center of your universe. And still, she pulled away. Why? Because you made her the purpose. And when a woman becomes your purpose, she loses the man she was attracted to. The man who once had direction, focus, fire, now orbits her approval, her moods, her texts, her reactions. And slowly, her attraction dies. Not because she doesn't care, but because her instincts no longer trust you. Because how can she trust a man who abandons himself for love? Real polarity requires distance, not disconnection, distance. The space where both partners stand fully in their truth, in their power, and choose each other. Not out of dependency, but out of respect. Not out of need, but out of alignment. This is what ancient myths tried to teach us, that the feminine longs to surrender, not to weakness, but to greatness. To a force that doesn't need her to feel whole, but still chooses her from wholeness. To a man who commands respect by how he lives, not what he says. To a man whose discipline is stronger than his desire. This is not about games. This is about gravity. You don't become magnetic by pretending not to care. You become magnetic by not needing to perform. Because your life is already full. Because your energy already speaks louder than your words. Because your silence already says, I am here, but I will not chase. And when she feels that, she feels safe. Not because you're predictable, but because you're solid. Because you cannot be manipulated. Because you do not fold. Because you live by something greater than her reactions. This is what it means to embody masculine polarity. Not dominance over her, but dominance over yourself. And in that restraint, in that sovereignty, something paradoxical happens. She lets go, she softens, she opens, because she finally feels your edge. The edge that doesn't wound her, but holds her. And that is the man she can trust, not just with her body, but with her soul. So, no, the answer is not to become colder. It's to become clearer, not to chase less, but to lead more, not to suppress your emotions, but to express them without losing your power. This is what the great thinkers knew. That attraction is not a mystery. It's a mirror, and if you want to change the reflection, you must first change the man. Remember this: a woman cannot love a man who abandons himself. She cannot desire a man who dissolves into her. She cannot respect a man who has no spine. But give her a man of mission, depth, containment, and you will see something sacred awaken in her. Not just lust, not just admiration, but reverence. And reverence is the soil of lasting love. So, build yourself, forge your frame, let your actions speak louder than your wounds. Because love is not the reward for losing yourself. It is the echo of your presence when you finally return.